Do not ask how it will come. That is not your concern. Your only task is to assume it has already come. Begin today, this very moment, by stepping into the consciousness of a person who already possesses $50,000, 0 cents. Do not beg for it. Do not look for signs. Simply say within yourself, it is done. The outer world is only a mirror reflecting the inner assumptions you carry. If you believe you lack, then lack will continue. But the moment you embody the feeling of abundance, the world will bow to reflect it. Close your eyes and feel the joy of having the money now. Picture yourself looking at your bank account and seeing the balance increase by $50,000, 0 cents. Hear a loved one congratulate you. Feel the weight of financial freedom in your chest. Let the image burn itself into your mind, not with strain, but with certainty. And from that moment forward, live from that state. Walk differently, speak differently, make decisions from the place of already having. It is not about pretending, it is about believing. If you believe it, your subconscious accepts it as real, and what the subconscious accepts, the world must express. Each night before you sleep, dwell in the end. Fall asleep with the knowing that the money is already yours. Let your last thoughts be, thank you, it came to me so easily. Your dreams will carry the seed of that reality and plant it into your waking world. You are not here to chase after money. You are here to realize that money is simply a form of consciousness, and consciousness is under your command. It is not your job to make it happen. It is your job to remain in the state of the wish fulfilled. The moment you know it is done without needing a single physical sign, that is when creation begins to move. And within 21 days, if you remain faithful, if you do not return to the state of doubt, $50,000, 0 cents must come to you. Perhaps through unexpected channels, perhaps from sources you could never predict, but it will come. So stop looking around, start looking within. Claim the money, feel it now, rest in that knowing it is already yours, and so it is. Assume the feeling of wealth now. Begin by understanding that the outer world is only a reflection of the inner world. Nothing comes from outside until it is first accepted inside. So if you desire to manifest $50,000, 0 cents in 21 days, you must not hope for it or wish for it. You must become the version of yourself who already has it. This isn't a performance or some surface level pretending. This is a deep and sincere acceptance that what you seek is already yours. What would you feel if $50,000, 0 cents, suddenly appeared in your possession today? Would you feel relief, joy, confidence, safety? Let that be the entry point. Do not ask how the money will come. Do not scan your current life for evidence. Instead, close your eyes and sink into the experience of already receiving it. Let your heart beat a little faster with the thrill of unexpected abundance. Let a smile touch your face as you imagine telling someone, "You won't believe what happened. I received the $50,000, 0 cents." Let that feeling spread through your chest as you open your banking app in your imagination and see the new balance. Breathe in that reality and hold it not as fantasy but as truth. Once you assume the feeling of wealth, your thoughts begin to change. You stop wondering if it will happen and start knowing it already has. You stop asking and start thanking. You stop acting from fear and begin moving from assurance. You carry yourself differently. Not arrogantly, but with a calm and grounded confidence that says, "I have more than enough." Your energy shifts. And that shift is the signal to the universe. You are no longer hoping for money, you are aligning with it. Start living today as if your financial burden has been lifted. Begin to treat every interaction, every moment, every decision from the state of someone who is already taken care of. You won't spend foolishly or carelessly. You'll spend consciously from the energy of trust rather than fear. You'll begin to act from clarity, not desperation. That's what wealth truly is. Not just a number in a bank, but a mental state of security and freedom. Imagine yourself walking through the world as someone who no longer has to check every price tag twice, who gives generously without fear of loss, who plans for joy instead of just survival. When doubts arise, and they will, don't fight them. Simply return to the feeling. Remind yourself, I already have it. It's already mine. You are not asking for money to come. You are walking in the truth that it has arrived. Persist in this feeling. Don't wait for the world to change before you feel wealthy. Let your feeling be the cause, not the effect. Feel it now and the world will respond. That is the great secret. The world is not determining what you feel. You are determining what the world reflects. The moment you genuinely feel wealthy, without needing the money to prove it, is the moment the universe moves to make it visible. Remain faithful to that inner wealth, and $50,000, 0 cents, will be drawn to you with precision, because it must match who you are being. Dwell in the end. This is the great principle that governs all manifestation. To dwell in the end means to place your attention not on the process, not on the obstacles, not on what needs to be fixed or changed, but on the final result, the finished state, the fulfilled desire. In this case, it means seeing yourself as already having received the $50,000, 0 cents. Not someday, not soon, but now. The moment you imagine yourself in possession of the money, your mind may begin to ask, but how? That question is a trap. The how is none of your business. You are not the orchestrator of conditions. You are the creator of the state. The state creates the path. When you try to force the how, you step out of the creative seat and into the role of the doubter. And the doubter receives only confusion. To dwell in the end means to make the result more real than anything your senses tell you. Right now, your outer world may reflect lack, limitation, or even debt. But those are shadows, reflections of former beliefs. The truth is what you choose to accept internally. Choose now to accept that $50,000, 0 cents, is already yours. Let it be real to you. Let it be your reality, whether you can touch it yet or not. What would your life look like if the money had already come? Picture it. What would change about your mood, your actions, your sense of peace? Go there in your imagination and make your home there. Return to it daily. Let it become familiar. Let it feel so natural that anything outside of it feels strange. That's what it means to dwell, to stay mentally loyal to the result, no matter what the physical world says. You are not trying to attract $50,000, 0 cents. You are being the version of yourself who already has it. When you dwell in the end, you let go of needing to constantly check your bank account for signs. You stop wondering if it's working. You simply know it is done. Your inner world carries the imprint of the outcome, and your outer world must follow. Not maybe, not hopefully, it must. Whenever doubts try to enter, when the fear arises, or when the evidence of your senses screams the opposite, you gently bring yourself back. You remind yourself, I have it now. You do not beg. You do not plead. You assume, and then you return to the end, again and again, until it becomes your default state of being. Even as you go about your day, carry the feeling that your desire is complete. Let it color your speech. Let it shape your decisions, not out of pretending, but out of faith. Faith does not look for proof. Faith is the proof. To dwell in the end is to let the final scene run on repeat in your imagination until it impresses itself on your subconscious mind. And once the subconscious accepts it as true, The outer world will rearrange itself to match. Things will shift. People will move. Opportunities will arise. But you won't need to manipulate any of it. Stay loyal to the result. Live from the end. It is already done. The $50,000, 0 cents is yours. Walk in that knowing and the world will follow. The power is in the inner conversation. What you say to yourself, silently and consistently, is creating the world you walk through. If you truly want to manifest $50,000, 0 cents in 21 days, it is not enough to simply visualize the money or write down affirmations once a day. You must change the way you talk to yourself. Your inner voice must reflect the truth that the money is already yours. This is not just repetition, it is identity. It is inner agreement. You may not realize it, but your inner dialogue is running constantly. It comments on everything, on your worth, your ability, your expectations, and your future. And often it is filled with fear, doubt, lack, and unworthiness. If that inner conversation is rooted in, I don't know how this will happen, or this is too good to be true, or things like this don't happen to me, then that is the vibration you are offering. That is the message you are sending into the unseen, and the unseen always responds to the tone of your thoughts. So start now. Speak within as the one who has already received the money. What does that version of you say to themselves throughout the day? They are not asking if the money will come. They are saying it feels so good to be free from financial pressure. They are not worrying, they are thinking, I'm grateful this came to me so easily. Their inner voice is calm, confident, certain. Begin to monitor the words you use in silence, not with judgment, but with awareness. When you catch yourself mentally complaining, fearing, or doubting, stop and shift the tone. Replace it with words that reflect the outcome you desire. Don't wait for evidence. Create the evidence with your assumption. Say inwardly what you would say if you had already received the $50,000, 0 cents. You must become your own encourager, your own reminder, your own proof. The inner world governs the outer. Your speech, especially the invisible speech no one hears but you, has creative power. When your inner voice speaks with authority and faith, your subconscious mind receives it as instruction. And once impressed upon the subconscious, life begins to move in accordance. You will start to notice opportunities appearing, people mentioning things they wouldn't normally say, and money coming through channels you didn't expect. Why? Because your inner dialogue has shifted. You are no longer broadcasting lack, you are radiating fulfillment. You are no longer asking, you are declaring. You can do this while walking, while eating, while lying in bed. Whisper to yourself in the silence of your mind, thank you, the money came, it's already mine, I feel so free, everything worked out in my favor. Let these statements play like a soft melody in the background of your awareness. Not forced, not desperate, just steady and true. Your inner conversation becomes your inner atmosphere, and that atmosphere must express itself outwardly. Life is only ever echoing what you whisper within. So speak from the end, speak from abundance. Speak from the place where the $50,000, 0 cents, is already in your hands. Keep doing this, and the world will have no choice but to catch up. Your imagination creates reality. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Every scene you play within your mind impresses itself upon your subconscious. And what the subconscious accepts as true, it begins to express without effort. If you desire to manifest $50,000, 0 cents in 21 days, the most powerful tool you possess is not outside of you. It is not your job, not your strategy, not the people you know. It is your imagination. You must construct within your mind a vivid scene, one that implies without question that you already have the money. Do not imagine asking for it. Do not imagine waiting for it. Imagine something that can only be true if the money has already come. Perhaps it's a moment where you're opening your banking app and seeing the balance. $50,000. 0 cents deposited. Unexpected. Undeniable. Let the scene be short, but rich in feeling. Imagine the texture of the phone in your hand, the sunlight falling across your screen, the pulse of excitement rising in your chest. See it, feel it, believe it. Or imagine yourself sitting across from a loved one, smiling, laughing, saying, "It happened. I received the $50,000, 0 cents. I don't even know how, but it's here." Hear their voice responding with joy. Hear their excitement. Let it feel real. Let it move you. This is not daydreaming. This is creation. This is the spiritual act of selecting your future from within. You might imagine paying off a debt that has weighed heavily on you for years. Visualize the moment you submit the final payment. How your shoulders relax, how your breath deepens, how free you feel. Feel the emotional release, the pride, the certainty that abundance is now your reality. Or maybe you celebrate. You imagine yourself buying something you've longed for, not in recklessness, but in confidence. Maybe you book a trip, make a gift, invest in your future. Whatever scene resonates with your heart, create it clearly. But more than anything, enter into the feeling of the scene. The scene is the container. The feeling is the power. Repetition is key. Return to your chosen scene multiple times a day, especially before sleep. As you drift into the subconscious state of drowsiness, your imagination becomes the most fertile. Plant your scene there. Let it loop softly as you surrender to sleep. The mind does not know the difference between what is vividly imagined and what is real. And once the subconscious accepts the scene as true, the outer world must conform. You may not see evidence on day 1 or day 2, but that doesn't matter. The seed has been planted. Keep watering it with faith. Keep revisiting your scene with joy. Do not dig it up with doubt. Do not cancel it with fear. Remain faithful to the imaginal act. Understand this deeply. The world you experience is your imagination outpictured. Every moment spent in belief is a thread weaving your new reality. If you imagine having the $50,000, 0 cents, with sincerity and persistence, the means of its arrival will reveal themselves naturally and effortlessly. The bridge of incidents will unfold in ways you could never have predicted. But you don't need to know how. You only need to know that your imagination, rightly used, is the cause of your reality. Faith is loyalty to the unseen. It is the invisible bridge between the desire and its fulfillment. It does not wait for proof, nor does it beg for signs. Faith is the quiet confidence that what you have imagined already is, even if your senses scream otherwise. If you desire to manifest $50,000, 0 cents in 21 days, this loyalty to the unseen must become your constant posture, not just in moments of meditation, but in the quiet spaces between tasks, in the stillness of night, and especially when nothing seems to be happening. When you say, "I believe," you are not making a hopeful statement. You are declaring something deeper. You are proclaiming that the unseen is more real to you than the visible, that your inner world carries greater authority than anything your eyes, ears, or bank account may suggest. Belief is not passive. It is an active decision to remain loyal to the reality you have accepted inwardly. There will be moments when facts will try to confront you. You may check your account and see lack. You may receive a bill that challenges your inner certainty. You may hear a voice inside you whispering, "See, it's not working." But that is the moment where faith becomes your sword. Not by fighting the facts, but by refusing to worship them. You turn inward again and say to yourself, "I already have it. It is done." You are not lying. You are choosing. You are standing in the truth of your unseen reality. Faith is not about pretending. It is not about denying the outer world. It is about giving greater weight to the inner world. When you live in faith, you are not waiting for the $50,000, 0 cents, to show up in your mailbox before you feel secure. You are already secure. You have already seen the scene in your imagination. You have already felt the freedom, the peace, the relief. That feeling is your evidence. That conviction is your proof. Life reflects the state of your being, and the state of your being is shaped by what you believe to be true, regardless of appearances. If you maintain inner loyalty to the reality where the $50,000, 0 cents, has already been received, then life will without fail echo that inner truth. People, circumstances, and events will align themselves in the most natural way to deliver that outcome. But none of that begins until you believe without needing to see. So let go of the urge to check. Let go of the compulsion to doubt. You are not measuring progress with your eyes. You are measuring it with your conviction. The moment you planted the seed in imagination, it was done. Faith waters that seed. Doubt tries to uproot it. You must choose, again and again, to stay loyal to what cannot yet be touched. You are not manifesting $50,000, 0 cents. You are remembering that it is already yours. Faith does not plead, it knows. It does not rush, it rests. And when you rest in the unseen, when you carry that inner assurance without wavering, the unseen must become seen. The $50,000, 0 cents will come, not by force, but by faith. What you accept as true becomes true. Your subconscious mind does not argue, analyze, or reject. It accepts whatever idea you impress upon it through belief, repetition, and emotion. It takes your dominant thoughts, your inner assumptions, and turns them into outward expressions. If you desire to receive $50,000, 0 cents, in 21 days, then your first and most important task is to accept it as already yours. Not someday, not when everything aligns, but right now, in consciousness. You do not need to figure out how the money will come. That is not your concern. Your only responsibility is to accept the idea of already having it so completely, so firmly, that it becomes your inner reality. Once it is accepted by your subconscious, the physical world must conform. This is not theory, it is law. What you believe to be true becomes your experience, not because of external effort, but because life can only reflect your inner conviction. Ask yourself right now, do I truly accept that this money is mine? Or am I still doubting, still wondering, still hoping? There is a vast difference between wishing and accepting. Wishing keeps you outside the experience. Accepting places you within it. When you accept something as true, you live from that place. You think from it. You feel from it. You walk through the world as if it were done. And in doing so, you collapse the time between the unseen. This is why inner conversations, mental imagery, and emotional alignment are so powerful. They are not just exercises, they are methods of acceptance. When you imagine checking your account and seeing $50,000, 0 cents available, and you feel the satisfaction of it, you are not just visualizing, you are persuading the subconscious mind. You are telling it, this is who I am, this is what is real for me, and the subconscious, without fail, begins to orchestrate everything necessary to reflect that truth. But if you continue to entertain thoughts like, I hope this works, or maybe it will happen, or what if it doesn't come, then you are sowing seeds of doubt. And doubt delays. Doubt pushes your desire further away, not because it has power, but because you are not yet in full acceptance. Acceptance is quiet. It is sure. It doesn't require loud affirmations or constant checking. It simply rests in the knowing, it is already mine. Just as you do not question whether the sun will rise, you must come to a place where you no longer question whether the $50,000, 0 cents, is yours. It is done. You felt it, you saw it, you believed it. That is enough. Let your inner world reflect this truth. Walk, talk, think, and feel from the place of already having. Stop telling stories of lack. Stop rehearsing what hasn't happened. Begin to move through your days as if you've already received what you asked for. Let your acceptance become your atmosphere. Let it permeate your thoughts and actions. The outer world will yield. Circumstances will shift. People will come into your life. Doors will open. But they are not the cause, they are the effect. The cause was always within. Accept that the $50,000 0 cents is yours, and the world must show you what you have already believed. The truth is simple yet profound. You are not trying to get $50,000 0 cents. You are awakening to the fact that it is already yours. Everything you desire begins and ends in consciousness. When you assume the feeling of wealth, dwell in the end. Speak inwardly as though it's done. Imagine vividly. Remain loyal to the unseen and accept the truth of your desire. The world must bend to reflect your inner state. This is not fantasy, this is spiritual law. Your reality is shaped not by effort, but by assumption. Not by force, but by faith. So hold firm. Do not waver when appearances tempt you to doubt. Remain still, knowing that the unseen is more real than the seen. The $50,000 0 cents is not coming. It has already arrived in the invisible, and now it is making its way into form. Rest in that truth. Live from it. Celebrate it in advance. Thank you for allowing these words to remind you of your power. Stay faithful to the unseen, and it must become the seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a real conversation today about a phenomenon that leaves many puzzled. Why do men return after no contact? You see, when someone walks out of your life, it's easy to think it's the end of the story. But let me tell you something, sometimes the silence speaks louder than words ever could. When men retreat, it's easy to misinterpret their silence as rejection or indifference. But more often than not, their withdrawal has little to do with you and everything to do with what's happening within them. Men retreat because they need space to process their emotions, sort through their thoughts, and confront their feelings. This isn't a sign of weakness or avoidance, but a fundamental part of how many men navigate their inner world. Unlike women, who might seek connection and conversation during times of emotional turmoil, men are often conditioned to deal with their emotions internally. Society teaches them to carry the weight on their shoulders, to figure things out in silence, and to emerge with solutions rather than sharing the burden. When life feels overwhelming, be it stress from work, personal challenges, or the weight of a relationship, they may pull back, not because they don't care, but because they need solitude to reset and reflect. This retreat can feel confusing to the person on the other side. You might wonder what you did wrong or why he suddenly seems distant after everything felt so connected. But it's essential to understand that this pulling away is rarely about you. Instead, it's his way of untangling his emotions and finding clarity. He's not abandoning you, he's recalibrating. And it's in this space of recalibration that something powerful happens. He begins to see things differently. When a man is away from you, he starts to feel the absence of your presence. The moments you shared, the laughter, the support, and the connection, all these things begin to come into sharper focus. In the quiet, he can evaluate what truly matters to him. And often it's during this time that he realizes the value you bring into his life. Value isn't just about grand gestures or romantic moments. It's about the small, consistent ways you show up, the way you encourage him when he's down, the way you make him feel understood, the way you challenge him to be better without tearing him down. These qualities aren't always recognized in the moment. Sometimes it takes stepping away to fully grasp their significance. Absence has a way of amplifying appreciation. In the day-to-day hustle of life, it's easy to take someone for granted. The routines and familiarity can blur the unique qualities that make a person special. But when a man retreats, he has the opportunity to see you through a new lens. He starts to recognize what he's been missing, and with that recognition comes a growing desire to return. Men return because they see value in what they had and what they could have again. But here's the key, that value isn't something you have to prove or chase. It's already within you. You don't need to beg for his attention or try to pull him out of his retreat. Your worth speaks for itself, even when you're not in the room. The space he takes to process his emotions allows him to understand what truly matters. And when he comes back, it's often with a renewed sense of clarity and appreciation. He's not returning out of guilt or obligation, he's returning because he recognizes your irreplaceable value in his life. In these moments, the most important thing you can do is remain true to yourself. Don't lose your sense of self-worth waiting for someone to figure out what they want. Trust that the right people will see your value without you having to prove it. And when they do return, you'll know it's because they genuinely see and appreciate the unique light you bring to their world. Absence has a remarkable way of reshaping how we perceive and value the people in our lives. When someone is constantly present, their qualities, contributions, and energy can become part of the background noise of our everyday existence. We get used to their presence, and often it's not until they are no longer there that we begin to realize just how much they meant to us. This phenomenon is not about love or care diminishing over time, it's about how human nature can take the familiar for granted. When a person steps away or creates distance, it disrupts the rhythm we've come to rely on. Their absence is like a missing piece of a melody. We notice the silence where their notes once played. This creates a space, and in that space, respect and appreciation begin to grow. Without the distractions of constant interaction, there's an opportunity for reflection, and it's during this reflection that clarity emerges. In relationships, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, absence challenges us to confront what life feels like without the other person. It's in their absence that we start to recognize the subtle ways they contributed to our happiness, comfort, and growth. Maybe it's the way they always made us laugh, their unwavering support during tough times, or the simple but powerful reassurance of their presence. These things, so easy to overlook in the moment, come into sharper focus when they are no longer immediately available. This phenomenon isn't limited to relationships, it's a universal truth. Imagine visiting a place you love or enjoying a favorite meal every day. Over time, the excitement or appreciation may wane, not because the place or meal has lost its magic, but because its constant availability has dulled your awareness of its uniqueness. Now imagine stepping away from that experience for a while. When you return, it feels fresh, special, and meaningful again. Absence has allowed your appreciation to renew itself. When someone is absent, it also gives us the space to evaluate their role in our lives without the influence of ongoing interactions. We start to see them not just as they are in the moment, but as they are in the broader context of our lives. This perspective often leads to a deeper respect for who they are and what they bring to the table. This principle is particularly powerful in romantic relationships. When one person creates distance, whether by choice, circumstance, or necessity, it can shift the dynamic. The person left behind has a chance to reflect on the relationship without the noise of daily interactions. They may begin to see the qualities they took for granted, the sacrifices made, or the ways their partner enhanced their life. Respect grows in this space because it's rooted in a deeper understanding and recognition of value. Absence also offers an opportunity for growth. When someone steps away, it's not just about what the other person feels, it's also about the individual who creates the space. By stepping back, they may be prioritizing their own growth, well-being, or clarity. This act of self-respect can inspire respect from the other person, as it shows strength, independence, and a commitment to personal values. Of course, not every absence leads to amplified appreciation. If a relationship is built on shaky foundations, or if respect was never present to begin with, distance may simply reveal what was already lacking. But when the connection is genuine and meaningful, absence has a way of highlighting its importance. Absence is a powerful teacher. It teaches us not to take people for granted, to cherish the moments we have, and to value the unique qualities others bring into our lives. It creates a mirror for both individuals, reflecting what truly matters. And when absence amplifies respect and appreciation, it often leads to deeper, more meaningful connections when the time comes to reunite. When a man returns after a period of no contact, it's rarely a random act. His decision to re-enter someone's life is often driven by unresolved feelings and unfinished emotional ties that refuse to fade. Relationships, whether short-lived or long-term, leave impressions on the heart and mind that cannot be easily erased. These impressions, built from shared experiences, emotions, and moments of vulnerability, create bonds that linger even when words are left unspoken and paths seem to have diverged. For many men, unresolved feelings are not something they confront immediately. Men are often conditioned to suppress emotions, to avoid showing vulnerability, and to focus on moving forward. But emotions have a way of resurfacing, no matter how deeply they're buried. When a man pulls away or breaks contact, it doesn't mean he has fully processed the relationship or the feelings that came with it. Instead, it often means he needs time to step back, reflect, and understand what those feelings mean. During this period of reflection, memories and emotions tend to bubble back to the surface. The mind has a way of revisiting moments that mattered, whether it's a meaningful conversation, a look that spoke louder than words, or the feeling of being understood in a way no one else could replicate. These memories create a powerful pull, and the more unresolved they feel, the harder they are to ignore. Unfinished emotional ties can stem from a variety of things. Sometimes it's the lack of closure, a conversation that was never had, an apology that was never given, or an explanation that was never shared. Humans crave resolution, and when a relationship ends without it, it leaves an emotional door slightly ajar. This open door becomes a reminder of what was left incomplete, and for a man, it often becomes an invitation to revisit the connection, even if it's just to find clarity. But it's not just about closure, it's about the emotional investment made during the relationship. When a man shares parts of himself with someone, his dreams, fears, joys, and vulnerabilities, it creates a connection that isn't easily severed. These ties act like threads woven deeply into his emotional fabric. Walking away doesn't mean those threads unravel, they remain intact, tugging at him when he least expects it. Time and distance have a unique way of intensifying these feelings. When a man is no longer in the relationship, he has the space to evaluate it from a distance. In that space, he often starts to see the bigger picture. He remembers the moments that mattered, the qualities that drew him in, and the ways the relationship made him feel alive, understood, or supported. Even if the relationship had its challenges, the positive aspects tend to stand out more starkly in hindsight. It's important to understand that when a man returns, it's rarely because he simply misses someone. Missing is superficial compared to the depth of unresolved feelings. His return is often a way of seeking answers not just about the relationship, but about himself. He's trying to understand why he feels the way he does, why certain memories won't let him go, and why the connection feels unfinished. In some cases, his return is also an attempt to rekindle what was lost. The emotional ties that bind him to the past make him wonder if there's still something worth salvaging. Perhaps he's realized the depth of the bond he shared, or maybe he's come to terms with his own shortcomings and wants to make things right. Whatever the reason, his return is rarely without emotional weight. For the person on the receiving end, understanding this dynamic is crucial. A man's return is not necessarily an indication of permanent change or a guarantee of a successful reunion. It's a reflection of unresolved emotions that he needs to confront. How that unfolds depends on both individuals and their willingness to address what was left unfinished. A man's return is a testament to the power of emotional connections. No matter how much time has passed or how much distance has grown, feelings that are unresolved and ties that are unfinished will always have a way of pulling him back. It's a reminder that emotions are not easily silenced, and the heart often seeks resolution in its own time. The power of self-worth is one of the most magnetic forces in human connection. When you focus on yourself, investing in your growth, happiness, and purpose, it creates a quiet confidence that radiates outward. This energy doesn't demand attention, it simply draws people in like a light shining in the dark. Those who once overlooked you, doubted your value, or took you for granted will inevitably feel the shift. They may not even understand why, but they'll sense the change and they'll feel the pull. Self-worth begins with how you see yourself. It's not about external validation or the approval of others, it's about the relationship you cultivate with your own heart and mind. When you prioritize yourself, your goals, your peace, and your well-being, you signal to the world that you value who you are. And when you value yourself, others naturally start to see that value too. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean shutting others out or being selfish. It means recognizing that you are the foundation of your own life. If that foundation is shaky, built on insecurity, doubt, or the need for external approval, everything else will crumble. But when you strengthen that foundation with self-respect, self-love, and a clear sense of purpose, it becomes unshakable. And an unshakable person is impossible to ignore. There's a reason why people are drawn to confidence. Confidence is not arrogance, it's the quiet assurance that comes from knowing who you are and what you bring to the table. It's not needing to prove anything to anyone because you've already proven it to yourself. When you carry that kind of energy, it becomes magnetic. People want to be around those who exude positivity, strength, and independence. When you focus on yourself, something incredible happens. You stop chasing. You stop chasing approval, attention, and relationships that drain you. Instead, you channel that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. You set goals and work towards them, not to impress others, but to fulfill your own potential. You cultivate your passions, take care of your body and mind, and find joy in your own company. This shift in focus from outward to inward transforms your entire aura. People notice when you stop seeking validation from them. They notice when you no longer hinge your happiness on their presence or approval. This change can be unsettling to those who once held power over your emotions. When you pull back your energy and direct it inward, you create a vacuum, a space where they used to take you for granted. And in that space, they begin to feel your absence. This doesn't mean focusing on yourself as a strategy to get others to return or pay attention to you. True self-worth is not about manipulation, it's about transformation. It's about becoming so aligned with your own values and desires that you no longer need anyone else to complete you. The irony is that when you reach this place of independence, others will naturally gravitate toward you. The pull they feel isn't about your appearance or status, it's about your energy. It's the quiet power of someone who knows their worth and isn't afraid to stand alone. It's the attractiveness of a person who has boundaries, standards, and the courage to walk away from anything that doesn't serve them. That kind of strength is rare, and people are drawn to it like moths to a flame. Self-worth isn't just magnetic, it's transformative. It changes how you see the world and how the world sees you. When you focus on yourself, you don't just pull people toward you, you pull opportunities, success, and happiness into your orbit. The power of self-worth is limitless, and it all starts with you. When a man returns after a period of no contact, it is often because he feels safe to express vulnerability without fear of judgment. For many men, vulnerability is a deeply guarded part of their being. It represents their inner fears, emotions, and doubts, parts of themselves they've been conditioned to suppress or hide. Society often teaches men to equate vulnerability with weakness, leading them to build walls around their emotions. But these walls are not impenetrable. They exist to protect, not to isolate. When a man finds someone with whom he can lower his guard, it creates a powerful pull that draws him back. When a man pulls away, it's not always because he lacks interest or has stopped caring. Sometimes it's because he's grappling with emotions he doesn't know how to handle. He might feel overwhelmed by expectations, unsure of how to communicate his feelings, or afraid that revealing his vulnerabilities will make him appear inadequate. In these moments, distance becomes a coping mechanism, a way to retreat and protect himself while he processes his emotions. But over time, he begins to recognize what was lost. He remembers the way he felt when he was with someone who truly saw him, someone who accepted him not for his achievements or his facade, but for the person he is underneath. That memory of emotional safety becomes a beacon, guiding him back when he's ready to face his fears and open up. Creating a space where a man feels safe to express vulnerability requires patience, empathy, and a deep understanding of human nature. It's about listening without interrupting, offering support without pressuring, and showing compassion without judgment. It's about being present and allowing him to share his emotions on his terms, without trying to fix him or force him to fit into a predefined mold. When a man senses this kind of acceptance, it gives him the courage to explore his emotions more openly. Vulnerability is not an easy state for anyone to enter, but for men who have spent a lifetime guarding their feelings, it's an especially significant step. To express vulnerability is to risk exposure, and to risk exposure is to trust that the person on the other side will handle it with care. This trust isn't built overnight. It's nurtured through consistency, authenticity, and mutual respect. A man needs to know that his moments of weakness will not be used against him, that his fears will not be dismissed, and that his emotions will be met with understanding rather than disdain. When this level of trust is established, it creates a bond that is both profound and enduring. When a man returns under these circumstances, it's not just because he misses you, it's because he recognizes the rarity of what he had. He's drawn back by the memory of feeling safe, valued, and unjudged. He knows that in a world where vulnerability is often met with resistance, he has found a place where it's embraced. This recognition doesn't erase past challenges or guarantee future harmony, but it's a powerful foundation on which to rebuild trust and connection. A man's return is not just a reflection of his feelings, but a testament to the power of emotional safety. It reminds us that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a bridge to deeper understanding and love. When a man feels safe to express his true self, it creates a connection that can withstand the trials of time and distance, a connection that he will always be drawn back to, no matter how far he strays. Timing is an undeniable force in life, shaping our experiences and decisions in ways we often don't fully understand until later. When it comes to relationships, timing plays an even more critical role. Sometimes it's only through the experience of losing someone that a person realizes their true worth. This moment of clarity, however painful, has the power to transform not only how we view others, but also how we view ourselves. When we're in the thick of a relationship or connection, it's easy to take things for granted. The comfort, the presence, the shared moments, they can blend into the background of our lives, overshadowed by daily distractions or personal insecurities. But when that person is no longer there, a void is created. It's in that emptiness, that absence, that the truth becomes glaringly obvious. The little things, their laugh, their kindness, their understanding, suddenly become monumental. The things we may have dismissed or undervalued take on a new, profound significance. Losing someone can act as a wake-up call, shaking us out of complacency. It forces us to confront the parts of ourselves that may have contributed to the loss, the inability to communicate, the fear of vulnerability, or the failure to appreciate what we had while we had it. This realization isn't immediate, it often unfolds slowly, like a wound healing from the inside out. At first there's denial or even blame, but eventually there's reflection. And in that reflection lies the recognition of what was lost and why it mattered so much. For some, this realization is tied to growth. Losing someone can highlight the gaps in their emotional maturity, their ability to connect, or their willingness to prioritize another person. It's a painful lesson, but it's also an opportunity to change. Growth rarely happens in comfort. It's the discomfort, the longing, the regret that drives us to look inward and ask ourselves the hard questions. What could I have done differently? What did this person bring into my life that no one else could? How can I honor their worth even in their absence? For the person who left or was left behind, This can be a deeply empowering moment. Losing someone may feel like rejection or failure at first, but over time it becomes a reminder of their own worth. Their absence becomes their power. It's a statement that says, I will not stay where I'm not valued, and this act of walking away, of choosing themselves, often ignites a shift in the one who remains. It's only then, in the stillness of solitude, that the full weight of their loss is felt. Timing is everything, because sometimes people aren't ready to see what's right in front of them. They may be distracted by their own fears, insecurities, or ambitions. They may not have the emotional capacity to appreciate the love and value being offered to them. But time has a way of revealing what we were blind to before. As the days, weeks, or months pass, clarity emerges. The space left by that person grows louder, more undeniable, until it becomes impossible to ignore. This recognition of worth doesn't always lead to reconciliation. Sometimes the person who left has moved on, grown, and decided that returning isn't in their best interest. And that's okay. The lesson remains. The person who took them for granted learns the importance of appreciation, respect, and timing. They carry that wisdom into future relationships, knowing now what they failed to grasp before. But sometimes, timing does come full circle. The loss serves as a reset, a moment to reevaluate priorities and behaviors. It creates a foundation for new growth. And if both people are willing and able to align, a second chance can emerge, one built on mutual understanding and a deeper appreciation of what they almost lost forever. Losing someone to realize their worth is one of life's harshest yet most transformative lessons. It reminds us of the fragility of human connection and the importance of being present and intentional in our relationships. It shows us that worth isn't always seen in the moment, but is often illuminated by its absence. And it teaches us that timing isn't just about opportunity, it's about readiness, awareness, and the courage to act before it's too late. The loss may hurt, but the growth that follows can be profound. It's a chance to not only recognize the value of another, but also to recognize the value of love, respect, and gratitude in every relationship moving forward. Timing is everything, because in the end, it reveals what truly matters. And sometimes losing someone is the only way to truly see them. Relationships and connections are often shaped by forces beyond our immediate understanding. Timing, self-awareness, and the depth of emotional bonds. A man's return after a period of absence is rarely random. It is driven by realizations about value, safety, and vulnerability, often brought to light through distance. Whether it's recognizing your worth, reflecting on unresolved feelings, or understanding the rarity of emotional safety, these moments of clarity are powerful reminders of what truly matters in human connection. Remember, the key is always to focus on yourself, your growth, and your self-worth. By doing so, you create a magnetic pull that naturally draws the right energy toward you. And if someone returns, let it be on the foundation of mutual respect, understanding, and a willingness to grow together. Thank you for allowing me to share these thoughts with you. Stay focused, stay strong, and always know your worth.
Ladies and gentlemen, for a moment and breathe deeply. Feel the stillness that exists within you, for it is there that your true power lies. You have been taught to run, to strive, to push against the flow of life. But let me remind you of a profound truth. That which is meant for you cannot outrun you, and that which is not cannot be forced into your life. Forcing is resistance. It is a signal that you doubt the natural flow of your life. When you force, you create tension within yourself and your reality. The things that truly belong to you will unfold without struggle. Like water that flows effortlessly around obstacles, your life moves with grace when you trust and release control. Settling is the denial of your worth. It is telling yourself that you are unworthy of more, that you cannot have what you truly desire. But know this, the universe reflects your inner beliefs. When you settle for less, you create a reality of less. Refuse to settle. For your desires are not random, they are whispers from the divine, guiding you toward what is meant for you. The greatest tragedy is not failure, it is giving up just before the breakthrough. Your desires are seeds planted in the soil of your imagination, but every seed requires time to grow. Do not dig up what you have planted with doubt and impatience. Trust that it is growing, even if you cannot see it yet. Understand this, the journey is not about getting but becoming. When you embody the energy of what you seek, the world rearranges itself to reflect that state. There is no need to chase, for you are magnetic. There is no need to force, for the current of life carries you. There is no need to settle, for your worth is infinite. And there is no need to quit, for your destiny is assured. Hold this truth in your heart, everything you desire is already yours, waiting for you to claim it not by force, but by faith. Let go of the chase, surrender the need to control, and allow your life to unfold in perfect harmony. For a moment and reflect on this simple truth, your outer world is but a mirror of your inner state. Every circumstance, relationship, and experience you encounter is a reflection of the thoughts and emotions you consistently hold within. There is no need to chase what is already destined for you, because the act of chasing is rooted in the belief that what you desire is absent. This belief, when held persistently, becomes your reality. But what if you shifted your focus inward? What if, instead of pursuing, you began aligning yourself with the feeling of already having what you seek? Imagine for a moment that your desires are like seeds planted in the soil of your imagination. These seeds do not require frantic effort or constant worry to grow. They need faith, attention, and the proper environment. In this case, the environment is your inner world, the thoughts you entertain, and the emotions you dwell upon. When your inner state vibrates with lack or desperation, you create resistance. It's like digging up the soil every day to check if the seed is growing. In doing so, you disrupt the natural process of growth and delay the very thing you want. But when you align your thoughts and feelings with the state of already having what you desire, you water the seed with faith and patience. This alignment is not about pretending or wishful thinking, it is about knowing that the unseen forces at work are real, and that your imagination is the blueprint for your reality. Every feeling you cultivate is a silent instruction to the universe. When you feel abundant, you invite abundance. When you feel loved, you draw love. The external world has no choice but to reflect the vibration you carry within. The error most people make is in thinking that effort alone can bring about their desires. They chase, they push, and they force, believing that action is the sole determinant of results. But action, when taken from a place of misalignment, only leads to frustration. Chasing implies that you are separate from what you want, and this very belief creates a barrier. The harder you run after something, the more it eludes you. Think of a butterfly. If you chase it, it flutters away. But if you sit still and allow it, the butterfly comes and rests on your shoulder. This principle applies to every area of your life. If you are seeking love, do not look for it in others while feeling unloved within. Instead, cultivate the feeling of love in yourself. Become the person who is already cherished, valued, and adored, and you will naturally attract relationships that mirror this state. If you desire wealth, do not dwell on thoughts of scarcity or complain about what you lack. Feel the joy of abundance within, as though it is already yours, and the opportunities and resources you need will align effortlessly. The truth is, you are not here to control the universe. You are here to work in harmony with it. Life is always unfolding for your highest good, even when it doesn't appear that way. Every delay, detour, and obstacle serves a purpose, guiding you towards something greater than you can presently imagine. Forcing implies mistrust in this divine orchestration. It is as if you're saying, I know better than the infinite intelligence that governs all things. But when you step back and allow, you make space for miracles. You open the door for solutions and outcomes that surpass anything you could have planned or forced into being. Allowing does not mean passivity or inaction. It means taking inspired action that arises naturally from a place of alignment. When you force something, your energy is fragmented and chaotic, and the results reflect that. But when you are in alignment, your actions are purposeful, efficient, and in harmony with the flow of life. Think of a river. It does not force its way to the ocean. It follows the path of least resistance, winding around obstacles, carving its way effortlessly through rock and soil. Its power lies in its flow, not in force. The same principle applies to your desires and intentions. When you force something, a relationship, a career move, or even a small goal, you send a message of doubt and scarcity to the universe. You are, in essence, saying, I don't believe this can happen naturally, so I must make it happen. This energy repels what you want, creating delays and frustrations. On the other hand, when you allow, you trust that the universe knows the perfect timing and the best path for you. You relax into the knowing that what is meant for you cannot miss you. Forcing also limits possibilities. When you fixate on one specific outcome and try to make it happen, you close yourself off to the infinite ways in which your desires could manifest. You become blind to opportunities and synchronicities that might lead to something even better. Allowing opens you up to these possibilities. It creates a state of receptivity, where you can recognize and act on the subtle nudges and signs that guide you toward your highest good. True power lies in allowing, because it comes from a place of inner certainty. When you allow, you are rooted in faith, not fear. You understand that your role is not to make things happen, but to align with them, to become a vibrational match for what you desire. You trust that the same force that moves the stars and seasons also moves your life, and you surrender to its wisdom. This does not mean there won't be challenges or moments of doubt. But even in those moments, you have the choice to let go of force and return to flow. To pause, breathe, and remind yourself that all is unfolding as it should. The universe is not in a hurry, and neither should you be. What is meant for you will find its way to you in the most beautiful and unexpected ways when you release the need to control. So let go of the struggle. Stop trying to force the river to flow faster or in a direction it was never meant to go. Trust the current, trust yourself, and trust the unseen forces that are always working in your favor. When you allow, you become one with the flow of life, and in that flow you will find everything you've ever desired and more. There is a quiet yet powerful truth: when you settle for less than you deserve, you diminish your own worth. Settling is not merely about making a compromise, it is a signal to the universe that you do not believe you are worthy of more. It is a reflection of an inner dialogue that whispers, this is all I can have, or I am not enough, but these whispers are lies born from fear, doubt, or past wounds. To accept less is to turn away from the abundance that is your birthright. You must honor yourself first, for the world will always treat you as you teach it to. Settling stems from a lack of belief in your own value. Perhaps you've been conditioned to think that you should be grateful for whatever you get, even if it doesn't fulfill you. Or maybe you fear that asking for more will leave you with nothing. These fears create a cycle of accepting what is easy, convenient, or familiar, even when it doesn't align with your highest good. But what you settle for today becomes the standard you set for yourself tomorrow. And the longer you remain in a state of settling, the harder it becomes to rise to the level of what you truly deserve. Your worth is not determined by external circumstances or the opinions of others. It is intrinsic, unchanging, and infinite. Yet, recognizing your worth requires a conscious decision to see yourself as valuable and deserving of the best life has to offer. This recognition begins within. It is not about arrogance or entitlement, but about a quiet confidence that says, I am enough. I am worthy. When you honor this truth, you create a foundation of self-respect that shapes every choice you make. Settling diminishes this foundation. When you accept a relationship that doesn't fulfill you, a job that drains you, or a situation that compromises your values, you send a message to yourself and the universe that you are willing to live below your potential. This message ripples outward, attracting more of the same. But the moment you decide to stop settling, you shift your vibration. You reclaim your power, and the universe responds in kind. Honoring yourself means having the courage to walk away from what does not serve you, even if it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. It means saying no to what is less than what you deserve, not out of anger or bitterness, but from a place of self-love. When you honor yourself, you make room for what is truly aligned with your heart and soul. You open the door for relationships, opportunities, and experiences that uplift and inspire you. This is not to say that the journey will always be easy. There will be moments of doubt, where the temptation to settle arises. You may question whether you are asking for too much or fear that nothing better will come along. But in these moments, remind yourself of the truth: you are always worthy of more. The universe is abundant, and there is no limit to what you can receive when you align with your own value. Honoring yourself also requires patience. It is a practice of trusting that what is meant for you will not pass you by, and that waiting for the best is always worth it. Patience is not passivity, it is active faith. It is choosing to hold out for what truly aligns with your vision, even when the immediate options seem easier. This faith sends a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready to receive all that you desire without compromise. The most profound relationships and opportunities arise when you are aligned with your true worth. When you honor yourself, you become a magnet for the best that life has to offer. People who see your value will naturally gravitate toward you, and situations that reflect your worth will unfold effortlessly. But it begins with you. No one else can set the standard for your life. That is your responsibility. So let go of the fear that tells you to settle. Release the belief that what you want is too much to ask for. Stand firm in the knowledge that you deserve the best simply because you exist. When you honor yourself, you teach the world how to honor you. And when you believe in your own value, you unlock a life filled with abundance, joy, and fulfillment beyond measure. Patience is the cornerstone of all creation, the silent force that nurtures every seed of intention until it blooms. To quit, to walk away from your dreams before they come to fruition, is to deny the very manifestation you set into motion. It's like planting a seed, watering it for a while, and then digging it up in frustration because you cannot see the sprout. But growth is happening, even if it's not immediately visible. The unseen work beneath the soil is what gives life to the eventual bloom. Quitting interrupts this divine process, severing the connection between your desire and its manifestation. Every thought, every intention, every dream you hold is a seed. When you commit to it, you place it into the fertile soil of the universe. But like any seed, it needs time to grow. There is a natural rhythm to creation, a gestation period that cannot be rushed. Patience is not passive, it is active faith. It is the unwavering belief that what you've sown will emerge in its perfect time, even when the outer world shows no evidence. To quit, then, is to forsake this faith and abandon the very process that was working in your favor. The temptation to quit often arises in moments of doubt and frustration. You may feel as though nothing is happening, as though your efforts are in vain. But this is an illusion. Just as a seed must break through the darkness of the soil before it reaches the light, your desires must go through an invisible process of alignment and preparation. The energy of creation is always at work, even when you cannot see it. To quit is to disregard this unseen progress, to lose sight of the truth that every action and intention is contributing to your ultimate goal. The manifestation requires more than just patience, it demands trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust in the universe's timing. Often the very moment you feel like giving up is the moment when your desire is closest to becoming reality. This is because the energy of manifestation intensifies as it nears completion, and with it, the challenges and doubts may also rise. But these are not signs to quit, they are signs to persist. They are tests of your commitment, asking whether you truly believe in what you set out to create. When you quit, you abandon the potential that was already unfolding. You deny the possibility of the bloom, cutting short the journey before it reaches its destination. But persistence, even in the face of uncertainty, keeps the energy alive. It sends a message to the universe that you are unwavering in your belief, that you are willing to wait and trust until the moment of fruition. This steadfastness aligns you with the frequency of your desire, making its manifestation inevitable. Quitting also stems from a lack of connection to the deeper why behind your dreams. When your purpose is clear, when your vision is fueled by passion and alignment, it becomes easier to endure the waiting period. The energy of your why sustains you through the moments when progress feels slow or non-existent. It reminds you that every great creation requires time and that your role is to remain faithful to the process. The act of quitting often comes from impatience, which is born from a focus on external results rather than internal alignment. When you shift your focus inward toward the belief that you are already aligned with your desire, you free yourself from the need to see immediate outcomes. You come to understand that the process itself is just as important as the result, and in this understanding, patience becomes natural. So do not let frustration or doubt rob you of your manifestation. Trust in the process. Trust that the seed you've planted is growing, even if you cannot yet see it. Commit to nurturing it with your belief, your patience, and your unwavering resolve. For every seed has the potential to blossom, but only if you allow it the time and space to do so. When you refuse to quit, you honor the divine timing of creation and open yourself to the abundant rewards that await. Life is a continuous process of unfolding, guided by unseen forces that work tirelessly in your favor. Yet trusting this process often requires a leap of faith, for the outcomes you seek may not be immediately visible. This trust, however, is the foundation of all creation. It is not blind optimism, but a deep, unshakable knowing that life is orchestrating events, circumstances, and opportunities to align with your highest good. To trust the process of unfolding means to let go of the need for immediate results and to rest in the assurance that everything is happening exactly as it should. The belief is the key to unlocking this trust. Many live by the adage, "I'll believe it when I see it," but the truth is the opposite. You must first believe it to see it. Your belief sets the stage for what unfolds in your life. It shapes your perceptions, aligns your energy, and creates a pathway for the unseen to become seen. Trusting the process, then, is an act of belief, a declaration that even without visible evidence, you know that all things are working together for your good. This trust does not mean passivity. It is not about sitting idly by, waiting for life to happen to you. Instead, it is about active faith, taking inspired action while releasing the need to control every detail. When you trust the process, you step into a dance with the universe, allowing its rhythm to guide you. You plant seeds of intention, nurture them with your energy and focus, and then step back to let nature take its course. This balance between effort and surrender is where true power lies. The process of unfolding often takes you through phases of uncertainty. You may find yourself in the middle of a situation that feels unclear or even chaotic. In these moments, it can be tempting to doubt the process, to question whether things are truly working in your favor. But consider the caterpillar in its cocoon. From the outside, the transformation appears messy, even stagnant. Yet within, a miraculous process is taking place. The same is true for you. Even when the path seems uncertain, trust that growth and alignment are happening beneath the surface. This trust requires patience. In a world that celebrates instant gratification, waiting can feel like an act of resistance. But the greatest creations take time. Just as a tree does not grow overnight, neither do the dreams and desires you hold within. Trusting the process means honoring the timing of life, understanding that delays are not denials but divine alignments. Every moment of waiting is an opportunity to strengthen your belief, refine your vision, and prepare yourself for what is to come. Doubt is the greatest enemy of trust. It creeps in when the visible world does not match your expectations, whispering that your efforts are in vain. But doubt is merely a reflection of the ego's fear of the unknown. When you trust the process, you quiet these doubts by shifting your focus inward. You remind yourself that the unseen forces guiding your life are far more powerful than any temporary setback. This inner assurance allows you to move forward with confidence, even when the outcome is not yet clear. Trusting the process also involves releasing the need for control. The human mind often seeks to dictate every step of the journey, thinking that control ensures success. But true trust recognizes that there is a higher intelligence at work, one that sees the bigger picture and knows the best path to your desired outcome. When you let go of the need to micromanage your life, you make space for this intelligence to operate. You become a co-creator with the universe, allowing its wisdom to lead you to greater heights than you could imagine on your own. This trust transforms your perspective. When you believe that life is always working in your favor, you begin to see challenges as opportunities, delays as preparation, and detours as necessary steps toward your destination. You no longer resist the unfolding but embrace it, knowing that every experience, whether joyous or difficult, is part of the grand design. This mindset not only brings peace, but also accelerates the manifestation of your desires as your energy aligns with the flow of life. Trusting the process of unfolding is about surrendering to the magic of life. It is about believing that the universe is benevolent, that your dreams are valid, and that every step you take is leading you closer to their realization. You don't need to see the entire path to take the next step. You don't need to see the evidence to believe in the outcome. When you trust the process, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. You step into a state of flow, where the unseen becomes seen and your life unfolds perfectly, exactly as it was meant to. The true transformation begins with the realization that your reality does not shape who you are. Instead, who you are shapes your reality. Many people fixate on the external on getting, acquiring, or achieving, but the real power lies in becoming. When you embody the state of the person who already possesses everything they desire, the world must conform to reflect that inner state. The secret to manifestation is not in chasing after outcomes, but in aligning your identity with your vision. This shift from getting to becoming is the key to unlocking the life you dream of. The essence of becoming lies in alignment. To embody a desired state means to think, feel, and act as though you are already living that reality. This isn't about pretending or creating a facade, it's about stepping into the energy of the person you wish to be. When you internalize this state, you send out a powerful signal to the universe. This energy draws experiences, people, and circumstances that align with your new identity. The external world, then, is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your inner transformation. Focusing on getting implies lack. It creates a sense of separation between you and what you desire, reinforcing the belief that you do not yet have it. This belief keeps you stuck in a cycle of wanting and striving. But when you shift your focus to becoming, you step into a state of wholeness and abundance. You no longer operate from a place of need, but from a place of fulfillment. This subtle yet profound difference is what turns intentions into manifestations. Becoming requires a deep commitment to self-concept. You must ask yourself, who is the version of me that already has what I desire? How does this version think, act, and feel? What choices do they make, and what habits do they cultivate? By aligning your present actions and thoughts with this future version of yourself, you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. This process isn't about forcing change, but about allowing it to unfold naturally as you step into your new identity. It's essential to recognize that becoming is a state of being, not doing. Many people equate effort with results, believing that more action will lead to their desired outcomes. But true alignment doesn't come from endless striving, it comes from embodying the energy of your desires. When you feel abundant, opportunities for abundance flow to you effortlessly. When you feel loved, relationships that reflect that love appear in your life. The universe responds to who you are, not what you do. This shift from getting to becoming also requires letting go of attachment to outcomes. When you focus solely on getting, you often tie your happiness to a specific result. This attachment creates resistance, as it signals to the universe that you are incomplete without the thing you desire. But when you focus on becoming, you step into a state of trust and detachment. You understand that the external manifestation is simply a byproduct of your inner state, not the source of your fulfillment. This trust allows the universe to deliver in ways that are often beyond your imagination. The practice of becoming also brings a sense of empowerment. When you rely on external circumstances to feel a certain way, you give away your power. But when you embody your desired state, you take control of your reality. You no longer wait for the world to change, you change yourself, and the world follows. This realization frees you from the limitations of circumstance and places the power firmly in your hands. Becoming is not an overnight process, it is a journey of self-discovery and alignment. It requires consistent awareness of your thoughts and emotions, as well as a willingness to release old patterns that no longer serve you. Every time you consciously choose to embody the state of your desired self, you strengthen your alignment and bring yourself closer to your vision. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and your external reality begins to shift to match your inner state. The power of becoming lies in its simplicity. Instead of chasing after things, you focus on embodying the essence of what you desire. You become the person who already has it, and in doing so, you attract it effortlessly. This process is not about adding something to your life, but about uncovering the truth that everything you desire is already within you. When you align with this truth, the world cannot help but reflect it back to you. You are no longer a seeker, you are a creator, shaping your reality from the inside out. The essence of this journey lies in alignment, trust, and becoming. Instead of chasing after outcomes, forcing circumstances, settling for less, or quitting in frustration, we are invited to step into a higher understanding of creation. Life is not something to be manipulated or controlled, it is a reflection of who we are within. By focusing on becoming the person who already has what they desire, trusting the process, and embodying patience, we unlock the power to shape our reality. Every thought, emotion, and action serves as a seed for the life we are creating. The key is to honor yourself, believe in your worth, and allow the unseen forces to work in your favor. Trust that the unfolding of your life is divinely orchestrated, even when you cannot yet see the results. You are the creator of your reality, and when you align with your true self, the world will mirror your inner transformation. Thank you for allowing this message to resonate within you. Trust the process, embody your desires, and remember that everything you seek is already seeking you. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not meant to wait for life to hand you what you desire. You were given the power to create, to shape, and to bring forth the reality that is already yours in spirit. To wait is to deny the truth that everything you seek already exists within you. The question is not if it will manifest, it is when. And that when depends solely on your conviction in the now. Do not let doubt creep into your mind. Doubt is the thief of destiny, the silent whisper that tries to convince you that you are unworthy or incapable. But know this: what you imagine with feeling and belief will inevitably come to pass. To doubt is to stall the creative power that flows through you. Trust the vision, see it as done, feel it as real. Hesitation is a luxury you cannot afford. The moment you hesitate, you weaken the bridge between your desire and its fulfillment. Decide boldly. Act confidently. The world moves to make room for those who dare to step forward with certainty. Fear is nothing but a shadow, a projection of a mind that has forgotten its divine origin. What you fear, you empower. But what you face with courage, you conquer. The moment you recognize fear as an illusion, you dismantle its hold over you. Stand tall in the knowledge that nothing outside of you can dictate your path. Faith is your foundation. It is the unwavering belief that what you desire is already unfolding, even if you cannot yet see it. Faith does not waver in the face of delay or opposition. It stands firm, knowing that all things are working together for your good. Decide. Do not wait for a sign, for the perfect moment, or for the stars to align. The moment you decide, the wheels of creation begin to turn. The universe rearranges itself in response to your certainty. You are not here to live a life of hesitation and fear. You are here to command your reality into existence. So I tell you, do not wait, do not doubt. Do not hesitate. Do not fear. The power is in your hands and your time is now. Act as if it is done and watch as the world bends to your will. Life is a continuous stream of now. The past is but a memory, and the future is only a projection of your imagination. Neither has any real power except the power you give them in the present. By dwelling on what was or worrying about what could be, you drain the energy needed to act in this moment. And it is action in the now that transforms thought into reality. Delaying that action, even for a moment, is to delay the manifestation of your dreams. Consider this: every great accomplishment began with a single decision made in the present. The seeds of success are not planted in tomorrow, they are sown in the fertile soil of today. When you take action, no matter how small, you set forces into motion that ripple through the fabric of your life. Procrastination, on the other hand, is like placing your dreams on hold indefinitely. It is a silent agreement to remain in the same place, to let opportunities slip by, and to allow fear or doubt to dictate your path. The power of the present moment lies in its immediacy. When you act now, you communicate to the universe that you are ready, willing, and deserving of your desires. This readiness sends a signal that aligns circumstances, people, and resources to support your vision. Conversely, when you delay, you send a message of hesitation, uncertainty, or even disbelief. The universe responds accordingly, mirroring your hesitation by holding back the opportunities and outcomes you seek. Delaying action also creates a dangerous cycle of inertia. The more you put off a task or decision, the heavier it feels. Doubts grow, and the mind becomes cluttered with excuses. I'll do it tomorrow turns into next week, and before you know it, months or even years have passed. The life you dreamed of seems further away, not because it is unattainable, but because you have postponed stepping into it. Acting in the now does not mean rushing blindly or making impulsive decisions. It means fully engaging with the present moment and recognizing its significance. It means asking yourself, what can I do right now with what I have to move closer to my vision? The answer may not always be grand or dramatic. Sometimes it is as simple as making a phone call, writing a plan, or taking a single step forward. These small actions, taken consistently in the present, build momentum and open doors you never imagined possible. When you embrace the now, you also free yourself from the burden of waiting for perfection. Perfection is an illusion that keeps you trapped in inaction. The truth is, you do not need to have everything figured out before you begin. The path unfolds as you walk it. The clarity you seek often comes from the very act of moving forward. Imagine what your life could look like if you stopped waiting. Imagine the opportunities you could create, the relationships you could nurture, and the dreams you could bring to life simply by choosing to act now. Every second spent delaying is a second lost, a moment that could have been used to shape your future. But when you step into the present with intention, you reclaim your power and accelerate the realization of your desires. So let go of the excuses, the fears, and the doubts that hold you back. Stop telling yourself that you will start tomorrow, next week, or when conditions improve. The only time you truly have is now, and it is more than enough. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and take that first step. It is in this moment, not the next, that your reality begins to shift. The life you want is waiting, but it cannot unfold until you decide to seize it in the present. Act now, and watch as the world transforms before your eyes. Doubt is a subtle but powerful force that quietly undermines your dreams. It begins as a whisper, a faint question of whether you're capable or worthy. But left unchecked, it grows louder, taking root in your mind and coloring your thoughts with hesitation and fear. Doubt tells you that your vision is too big, too unrealistic, or too far out of reach. And with every moment you entertain it, you push your dreams further away. To doubt is to deny the very essence of what you want to create. It is to reject the possibility of its existence, and in doing so, to deny yourself the joy of realizing it. Your dreams are fragile in their infancy, like seeds waiting to grow. They require belief, nurturing, and trust to flourish. But doubt acts like a storm, uprooting these seeds before they have a chance to take hold. It robs you of the energy and focus needed to turn your vision into reality. When you doubt, you split your energy between wanting and questioning, leaving little left for the action and conviction necessary for manifestation. Doubt often disguises itself as caution or practicality. It whispers that you're just being realistic or that it's wise to temper your expectations. But deep down, you know this is not true. Realism has its place, but when it becomes an excuse to stay small, it turns into doubt. The truth is that every great accomplishment, every breakthrough, and every fulfilled dream once seemed impossible to someone. Those who succeeded did so not because they avoided doubt entirely, but because they refused to let it control them. To doubt is to disconnect from the power that brings your dreams to life. Imagine holding a blueprint for a magnificent building but refusing to believe it can be constructed. Without belief in the plan, no foundation will be laid, no bricks will be set, and no progress will be made. Your vision works the same way. It is the blueprint for your future, but it remains lifeless without the animating force of belief. Trust in your vision is not about ignoring challenges or pretending obstacles don't exist. It's about knowing that, despite the difficulties, your dream is worth pursuing. It's about understanding that the power to create lies within you, not in the circumstances around you. When you trust in your vision, you give it permission to unfold. You create space for opportunities, resources, and ideas to come into your life. But when you doubt, you block these things from reaching you. Think of doubt as a wall, and trust as an open door. With trust, you invite the flow of creation, allowing your dreams to move toward you as you move toward them. With doubt, you shut that door, keeping possibilities at bay. The choice is always yours to doubt and deny, or to trust and receive. Many people abandon their dreams not because they lack talent, resources, or time, but because they succumb to doubt. They tell themselves it's not meant to be, or that they're not ready. But the truth is that readiness comes through action and belief. No one starts with everything perfectly aligned. The alignment happens as you move forward with faith. To trust in your vision means accepting it as real even before you see evidence of it. It means feeling the reality of your dream as though it's already here, knowing that what you believe with conviction must eventually become your experience. This trust is not blind optimism, it's a deep inner knowing that your desires are valid and achievable. The greatest gift you can give to your dreams is unwavering belief. When you trust in your vision, you align with its energy and draw it closer to you. You act as though it's already done, and the universe responds by rearranging itself to match your certainty. The path may not always be clear, and challenges may arise, but trust allows you to navigate these moments with strength and determination. Doubt is a choice, just as belief is a choice. Every time you feel doubt creeping in, remind yourself of why you began. Focus on the outcome you desire, not the obstacles in your way. Speak life into your dreams, affirming their reality with every thought, word, and action. When you choose trust over doubt, you breathe life into your vision and set it free to manifest in ways beyond your imagination. Your dreams are worth believing in. They are the expression of your highest self, calling you to rise above fear and hesitation. Trust in them completely, and they will not fail you. Let go of doubt, and watch as your dreams move from possibility to reality. Hesitation is the silent enemy of creation. It lurks in the spaces between thought and action, whispering questions of what if and am I ready. It convinces you to pause, to overthink, and to wait for the perfect moment. But in truth, hesitation delays the life you desire. It places an artificial barrier between the vision in your mind and the reality waiting to unfold. Boldness, however, is the force that bridges this gap. It is the power to act with confidence, as though the outcome is already secured. Every manifestation begins with a thought. Your mind conceives an idea, a dream, or a goal, and in that moment it exists in the realm of possibility. Yet without action, that thought remains intangible, trapped in the ether. Hesitation arises when fear, doubt, or uncertainty steps in, questioning whether you should proceed. It freezes your momentum, keeping your dream suspended in limbo. The energy that should propel you forward dissipates, leaving you stuck in a cycle of inaction. Boldness, on the other hand, bypasses hesitation entirely. It doesn't wait for conditions to be perfect or for fears to subside. Boldness says, I am ready now, even if readiness feels incomplete. It acknowledges the power of action in the present moment. To act boldly is to declare your faith in your vision, to trust that the steps you take now will lead to the fulfillment of your desires. This trust is what transforms thought into reality. When you act as if it's already done, you align yourself with the reality you wish to create. This alignment is not mere pretense, it is a powerful shift in consciousness. You begin to think, feel, and behave as though your dream is already part of your life. This bold approach sends a clear signal to the universe you are serious, committed, and ready to receive. It sets into motion the forces that bring opportunities, resources, and synchronicities into your path. Hesitation, in contrast, signals uncertainty. It suggests that you are unsure about your vision, your readiness, or your worthiness. This hesitation creates a gap between your desire and its manifestation, a gap that grows wider the longer you wait. The universe responds to your hesitation by mirroring it, holding back the very things you seek. Boldness, however, closes this gap. It eliminates the space between wanting and receiving, turning intention into experience. Consider how many dreams have been lost to hesitation. Opportunities missed, relationships unpursued, and goals abandoned, all because of a moment of uncertainty. Hesitation convinces you that the risk is too great, the timing is wrong, or that you are not enough. But these are illusions, constructs of the mind that keep you from stepping into your power. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. The only moment that matters is the one you choose to act boldly. To act boldly is not to act recklessly. It is to move forward with purpose and conviction, knowing that your actions, no matter how small, are part of a greater unfolding. Boldness does not require all the answers or a clear path. It only requires the willingness to take the first step. And once that step is taken, the next becomes clearer, and then the next. When you embody boldness, you carry yourself as though the outcome is certain. This certainty shifts your energy and the way others perceive you. People are drawn to confidence and decisiveness. Resources seem to appear as if by magic, and circumstances begin to align in your favor. What once seemed out of reach starts to move toward you, not because of chance, but because boldness opens the door to possibility. The greatest barrier to bold action is often fear of failure, judgment, or the unknown. But fear is only as powerful as the attention you give it. When you choose boldness, you diminish fear's hold on you. You remind yourself that every action, no matter the outcome, is a step closer to your dream. Even perceived failures are valuable, as they teach and refine you for the journey ahead. Act as if it's already done. See your dream as a reality, and move as though it is inevitable. This mindset is not wishful thinking, it is the foundation of manifestation. Boldness does not wait for proof or permission. It creates proof through action. It bridges the gap between the intangible and the tangible, turning possibility into reality. Do not let hesitation rob you of your destiny. The life you desire is waiting, but it requires your boldness to come alive. Take the step. Make the decision. Act now and watch as the world reshapes itself to meet your unwavering confidence. Fear is a construct of the mind, a clever illusion designed to keep you in the familiar, to hold you within the confines of what you already know. It is a defense mechanism born from the instinct to survive, but in the modern world, it has become a barrier to growth and freedom. Fear whispers that you are not ready, not capable, not deserving. It creates shadows of doubt and builds walls of hesitation. Yet when you pause to examine fear for what it truly is, you see its fragile nature. It is not real. It is merely a projection of the mind, a trick that loses its power the moment you face it. Fear thrives in the unknown, feeding on uncertainty and magnifying it into an insurmountable obstacle. It convinces you that staying where you are stagnant and safe is preferable to taking a risk. But this safety is an illusion. The comfort zone fear defends is not a sanctuary but a prison, one that keeps you from exploring the vast potential of who you are and what you can achieve. When fear arises, it often disguises itself as rationality or practicality. It tells you that your dream is too ambitious or that failure is inevitable. It plants seeds of self-doubt, making you question your abilities and your worthiness. But these thoughts are not truths, they are constructs of the mind, designed to protect you from perceived danger. The key is to recognize them as such mental fabrications, not reality. Think of all the times fear has stopped you from pursuing something you desired. Perhaps it was the fear of rejection, failure, or ridicule. Yet if you look back, how many of those fears actually came to pass? And even if they did, were they as devastating as you imagined? More often than not, the worst-case scenarios fear presents never materialize. Instead, the real regret lies in the opportunities missed because of fear's illusionary grip. Facing fear does not mean eliminating it entirely. Fear is a natural part of the human experience, and its presence does not signal weakness. Rather, it offers a chance to grow. Every time you confront fear, you expand your capacity for courage and resilience. Each step taken in the face of fear weakens its hold, proving to yourself that you are stronger than any illusion the mind can create. Fear is often rooted in the past or the future. It draws from past failures or imagined scenarios of what could go wrong. But in the present moment, fear has no foothold. When you anchor yourself in the now, fear loses its grip. The present is where action happens, where dreams are built, and where courage is born. By focusing on the step in front of you, rather than the mountain ahead, you take away fear's ability to paralyze you. Action is the antidote to fear. Even the smallest act of defiance against fear's narrative begins to dismantle its illusion. Each time you act despite fear, you prove to yourself that the mind's projections are not reality. You shift your focus from what might go wrong to what could go right. You reclaim your power from fear and channel it into creating the life you desire. Fear is not your enemy, it is a mirror, reflecting areas where growth is possible. Instead of running from it, lean into it. Ask yourself what fear is trying to protect you from, and then question whether that protection is necessary. Often you will find that fear is clinging to outdated beliefs or assumptions that no longer serve you. By challenging these beliefs, you free yourself from their constraints. You are not your fear. You are the creator of your reality, and fear is nothing more than a passing thought. When you stop running from it and instead see it for what it is, you reclaim your power. You render fear powerless, and in doing so, you step boldly into the limitless possibilities of your life. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the unshakable force that turns mere thoughts into tangible realities. It is the unseen hand that moves mountains, the energy that aligns the universe to manifest your desires. When you hold faith, you stand in the certainty of what you cannot yet see, knowing that your belief is the key to its eventual unfolding. Faith activates the invisible forces that respond to your intentions, bringing into form the very things you desire. At its core, faith is not about hoping or wishing, it is about knowing. It is the quiet confidence that the unseen is just as real as the seen, and that what you seek is already in motion, making its way toward you. When you stand firm in your belief, you set into motion the powerful forces of creation, forces that do not question or waver but act in perfect harmony with your conviction. Your faith becomes the foundation upon which your reality is built, shaping circumstances, opportunities, and experiences to align with your desires. The invisible forces at work are always present, responding to your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. But they require faith to be fully activated. Without faith, doubt and fear creep in, disrupting the flow and scattering the energy needed to bring your desires to fruition. Doubt weakens the signal you send out, while faith strengthens it, amplifying your intentions and aligning the universe to meet your needs. Faith is the power that sustains your vision, even when external evidence suggests otherwise. Faith asks you to trust in the unseen, to believe in the outcome even before it manifests. This trust is not blind, it is deeply rooted in the understanding that your thoughts and beliefs shape your reality. When you hold faith, you declare that your vision is already real, even if it has not yet appeared in physical form. This unwavering belief creates a magnetic pull, drawing to you the people, resources, and circumstances necessary to make your vision a reality. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but faith is what carries you through them. It reminds you that these obstacles are not the end but part of the process, tests of your commitment to your vision. When you hold faith, you see these challenges not as barriers but as stepping stones, opportunities to refine your focus and strengthen your resolve. Faith is the anchor that keeps you steady, even in the face of uncertainty. Faith is not passive, it is active and dynamic. It requires you to embody the energy of your desired outcome, to act as if it is already done. This alignment between your thoughts, feelings, and actions is what activates the invisible forces and accelerates the manifestation process. When you move through the world with the confidence that your desires are on their way, you create a ripple effect, influencing your environment and opening doors that were previously closed. The unseen forces at play are vast and limitless, but they require your faith to be fully activated. Just as a seed needs water and sunlight to grow, your desires need the nourishment of belief to take root and flourish. When you stand firm in your faith, you create a fertile ground for these forces to work, allowing them to bring your vision to life in ways that often exceed your imagination. Faith is not a matter of waiting, it is a matter of knowing. It is the quiet assurance that what you desire is already yours, even if it has not yet appeared. This knowing transforms your energy, aligning you with the vibration of your desired outcome. When you embody this energy, you become a co-creator with the universe, working in harmony with the invisible forces that shape reality. Hold your faith unwaveringly, and watch as the unseen becomes seen, the imagined becomes real, and the impossible becomes possible. Faith is your greatest tool, the key to unlocking the infinite potential of the universe. Stand firm in it, and know that all you desire is already on its way. The power of decision is one of the greatest forces you possess. Your life, your experiences, and even the world around you are shaped by the decisions you make. The moment you decide with clarity and conviction, all of creation begins to move in alignment with that decision. It is as if the universe, which was previously waiting on your command, springs into action, orchestrating events, circumstances, and opportunities to bring your choice into reality. Deciding is not simply choosing, it is an act of creation, a declaration that what you have determined is already yours. When you decide, you send a clear and unwavering signal to the world. This signal is not just a thought or a hope, it is a powerful, energetic command that leaves no room for ambiguity. Your decision declares to the universe, this is what I want. This is who I am. And the universe responds in kind, rearranging itself to match the vibration of your choice. The act of deciding is the moment you shift from uncertainty to certainty, from potentiality to actuality. Most people hesitate to decide because they fear making the wrong choice. They linger in indecision, thinking that by keeping their options open, they are protecting themselves from failure or regret. But indecision is its own form of failure. It creates stagnation, leaving you stuck in a state of limbo where nothing progresses. The truth is, any decision is better than no decision because the act of deciding sets energy into motion. Even if adjustments are needed later, you cannot steer a ship that isn't moving. To decide is to commit. It is to close the door on doubt and fear, to remove hesitation and uncertainty from the equation. This commitment is what gives your decision power. It eliminates conflicting energy, focusing all your thoughts, emotions, and actions on a single outcome. When you decide with conviction, you embody the energy of already having what you desire. This alignment is what accelerates the manifestation process. Deciding is an act of trust not in something external, but in yourself and the power you hold to shape your reality. It is a statement of faith and knowing that the moment you decide, the path will unfold. You may not see every step ahead, but your decision sets the wheels in motion. Doors will open, opportunities will arise, and people will come into your life to support your journey. The how is not your concern, it is taken care of by forces greater than you. Your only task is to decide and remain unwavering in your choice. A decision is final. It leaves no room for second guessing or retreat. When you decide, you burn the bridges behind you, ensuring that there is no path back to indecision. This finality is what gives your decision its transformative power. It signals to the universe that you are ready, that you have chosen, and that you will not waver. This unwavering certainty creates momentum, drawing everything you need to fulfill your decision. Deciding requires courage because it often means stepping into the unknown. It means trusting in what cannot yet be seen and believing in your ability to bring it into being. But the rewards of deciding far outweigh the risks. The moment you decide, you free yourself from the paralysis of indecision and take control of your destiny. You become a creator, shaping your life with intention and purpose. Do not underestimate the power of a single decision. Your entire reality is built upon the choices you make. Decide what you want, and it is done. The moment you choose with clarity and conviction, you unleash the creative forces of the universe to bring your vision to life. Trust in this process. Decide boldly and watch as your world transforms to match your choice. In life, the power to create, to transform, and to manifest lies entirely within you. Every moment is an opportunity to step into your true potential by recognizing the infinite possibilities at your command. Doubt, fear, hesitation, and indecision are not obstacles in the external world, they are barriers of the mind. When you choose to overcome them, you unlock the forces of creation that are always at work, ready to align with your bold decisions and unwavering faith. So trust in the process, act boldly, and align your inner world with the vision you hold. Your reality is shaped by your choices, and with faith and determination, nothing is beyond your reach. The life you desire is already yours, it simply awaits your command. Thank you for your time and attention. May you step forward with courage and create the life you truly deserve.